This is Today at Chattanooga State with James Ortiz and Ashton Holt with your local weather.
Hello and welcome to Today at ChattState. I'm James Ortiz and I'm having a wonderful Wednesday. So Ashton, how's this semester been going for you?
Semester's going just fine.
Good. Glad to hear it, friend. With nicer spring weather, it's a good time to check out some campus activities. The Fun Around the World Festival takes place on April 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This event is brought to you by the Office of Multicultural and International Student Services and Student Life. Go on an adventure through international tastes and sounds as we celebrate the heritage of many different parts of the world and try a lot of samples of world cuisine. Chattanooga State student Xenia Neesmith was named TBR Community College Student of the Year. Xenia returned to Chattanooga State 2 years ago after an unsuccessful first attempt at college in 1999. She has worked hard to overcome many personal challenges so that she could succeed in college, and her hard work and perseverance have paid off. She is the president of the Psychology Club and the Student Government Association. Congratulations, Xenia. On Monday, April 4th, the Office of Student Life hosted ChattState's Got Talent, a contest for our talented musicians, dancers, and comedians. Host Ivory Roberts nearly stole the show with his performance of Try a Little Tenderness by Otis Redding.
Hold her, don't tease her, never leave her. Got to, got to try a little tenderness.
Eventually, a dancer named Darius was announced as the winner. Congratulations to everyone. Wow, we certainly do have a lot going on campus at this time of year. But Ashton, how's the weather looking outside today?
Right now it looks fine, but later this afternoon could be kind of tricky. Right now, here's a live look at the Chickamauga Dam. It looks very just foggy, just dreary. I mean, this is not anyone's favorite weather. Unless you like, just kind of like misty kind of weather. This is your weather. It looks like traffic's going along very well too. Let's take a look at the weather graphics, the weather map right now, and this will show momentarily. There we go. Okay, this will show us the weather map here. So again, this is a look at what's seen where the warm air and cool air are right now, and where the central pressures are. So right now, here, this red line is the warm front. The question is, how far north will this go? See, if the further north this goes, the better chances for severe weather we'll see later on. And so I'm sure you've probably heard this by now. So now I'll get in more detail about it. But right now, let's talk about temperatures. Temperatures right now: 59 degrees Chattanooga, 64 Cleveland, 63 Dalton, and 59 as well in Lafayette, 63 in Calhoun, 57, nice, cool 57 in Scottsboro, and 55 in Decatur. So as we take a look at the radar is quiet right now. In fact, what you're seeing here, that's not precipitation. What this is ground clutter, like your insects and birds. That's what all this is. So this is nothing really to be concerned about. All there right now is still off to the west. So as we look at the satellite, this is, if you're in space right now looking down at the Earth, this is what you're seeing. The light source is the sun, so this is very fascinating. So what you're seeing here is the swirl, that's the low pressure that's going to really be the main source for this weather system that's going to be moving through. And again, you can see those showers and storms off to the west. Here's a local look of what we're seeing here. Again, you can see all those overcast skies, and you can see also those showers and storms, especially that little, you can see it as it pops up here. Those are storms also starting to pop up, but those are going to stay north of here. We'll see some more later on starting to develop. So here's a look at the jet stream. Again, you can see a little bit of a dip off to the north. That's going to help storm fuel. Of course, there's a lot that goes into what may happen later on. This is, of course, one of them. And you can see the main path that you can see kind of moves from southwest to northeast. If storms do develop, and there's a good chance they will, that's the path that they will take us. And we're here. And so, but as you see, that's going to just kind of help feed in stuff, these storms later on. As we take a look at the water vapor, and again, this is the yellow is dry air. The white and those greens and blues, those are really moist air. and that's what's going to move in. That's really rich moisture as well. In fact, that's where the rain showers are, and that's going to continue to move off to our area as well. So current conditions right now, 59 degrees and cloudy across the area, and in some places it's actually foggy, especially in the areas of water. 90% humidity, but this number right here, that's an important number for a day like today. The reason why that is, if it's 65 degrees or higher, that means the air is very soupy. And when the air is like that, they can really also favor severe weather as well later today. Pollen count though, let's talk a less serious note here. I know a lot of y'all are suffering because I hear it. It's disgusting. It's 660 pollen count, and the most of it is tree pollen. So, and when the wind blows, I know it just flies all over the place, and no one likes that. So our weather headlines: severe weather possible this evening. I think later tonight it's going to clear out, and cooler temperatures late week, and then dry weekend as we go into the weekend. So yesterday our high temperature was 62, about 10 degrees cooler than normal for that time of year, and we were right where we needed to be for this time of year. So our regional observations, this is the rain we saw yesterday. We didn't get a report out at Chattanooga, but in the eastern we saw 6200s, 4300s Cleveland, 3700s in Dunlap, and 8/10 out of Saudi Daisy. So here's the severe weather setup. There's a 3 out of 5 point scale for severe weather. 5 is like the highest threat level possible. This is a 3 out of 5. When it's a 3, it starts to get my attention. And we have a 3 out of 5 setup. So what does that mean? Damaging winds, that's a possibility. Isolated tornadoes, that's also a possibility, and also hail. So as far as the how serious it could be, we have a 5% probability for tornadoes. Now you say, what's the big deal? It's only 5% probability or 5% chance. Well, that's a more of an elevated risk than we normally see. Anytime it gets 10% or higher, that means you start to consider strong tornadoes, but I don't see that potential. But isolated tornadoes could be possible, but this is the more elevated threat than that. Damaging winds is possible. There's a 30% chance for damaging winds. Anything over 15 is a problem. 60 to 70 mile an hour winds is possible. So, 70 to 80 mile an hour winds, whether it's twisting or coming at a straight line, a tree going through your house is a tree going through your house. So you want to know if it's going to happen or not. And also a quarter-size hail also is a possibility, especially from pretty much Knoxville on south, and that does include us. So the main impacts is damaging winds, hail, and flooding. Tornadoes and flooding is a very low impact risk. So for today, for most of the day, it's going to be nice. Partly cloudy, but muggy. High 83, and that's also going to help the storm fuel for today. And probably kind of gusty with winds 10, 15 miles an hour. Tonight, again, strong to severe storms. Again, I think it's going to be clearer now after about midnight. And again, 10, 15 mile an hour winds as well. So for the next 7 days, we'll be clearing out, of course. And then given a nice day for Thursday, we'll see 59 degrees for a high for Thursday. Another rain chance for Friday. Maybe a wintry mix for Saturday, but that's going to be for the higher elevations for most of us. We'll be sitting high and dry, but with just cloudy skies. And it looks like for Sunday, we'll be seeing partly cloudy skies, a little bit more sunshine. And then for cloudy for the rest of the week. But hey, 68 for Wednesday. You can't beat that. So that's the way things look right now for the next 7 days. But just have at least 2 ways to receive warnings if mornings start to become a problem. So just be prepared and have a plan. James?
Thank you, Ashton. It certainly seems like we have a lot of torrential weather coming up. Speaking of torrential, though, the cost of war was on full display over the weekend. A wave of international condemnation after emerging images show bodies of civilians across the streets of Bucha, Ukraine. President Joe Biden and Ukraine's president are both calling the acts of violence a war crime. Isabel Rosales reports on the growing fallout.
Global outrage and calls for a war crimes trial against Russian President Vladimir Putin.
The perpetrators of all these violations and war crimes will be held accountable.
President Joe Biden vows more sanctions are on the way.
He is a war criminal. This guy is brutal. And what's happening in Bucha is outrageous.
Over the weekend, horrifying images out of Bucha near Kyiv. The bodies of at least 20 men, civilians, left scattered along a single street. The town's mayor saying this mass grave could carry up to 300 victims.
We shall never forgive them. They will never be forgiven on this earth or in heaven.
Despite all the video evidence, Russia claiming it's fake. Ukraine's president witnessing the atrocities from the ground, calling it a genocide. Unable to take control of parts of Ukraine, the Kremlin apparently revamping its war strategy. Now shifting focus to eastern Ukraine, with a target date of control by early May, according to several U.S. officials.
When the war with Germany began, I was only 1 year and a half.
This Holocaust survivor once escaped the Nazis as a baby. Now, at 82 years old, she's pushed out of her home for a second time.
It is very difficult when my beautiful town, when I lived all my life, is destroyed.
I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Goodness me, it seems like every day this war is getting worse and worse. Hopefully, though, we'll be able to resolve some of these terrible, terrible actions that have been committed. Be that as it may, though, that's been it for Today at Chat State. I hope you all have a good day.
Scene 1 empty. Scene 1 empty.